Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kodash.
the Bologna City elders and the apostles of the great milestone who rule well.
Shalom.
Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect. Alright, there's some of the brothers here from the GMS camp. Alright, and today we're going into a short little lesson here on the artificial intelligence that you're seeing taking place. You know, it basically coming to take your job and all these things, you know. And me and the brothers there, you know, they're talking about you know, watching some videos on it, you know. And just mentioning that this morning I see a couple of videos they're showing you AI talking about AI making itself look like people in days are old, you know, showing you they taking selfies, you know, they walking, because look how this is there, they walking where Moses separate the water, you know, to where they was running from Pharaoh, you know, people taking the midst of that and they taking out selfies, you know, and talking about look at how Pharaoh can't get free, you know, and them kind of thing now. You know, they show you John, but they showing them like the so-called white man, you know. That kind of look. We know how people is. So you go ahead with the scriptures.
They show how funny and delusional Jake is.
Yeah.
They're saying Pharaoh can't catch free.
Yeah.
You, let me play like this, right? You walk across the river laughing at Pharaoh, but really Pharaoh laughing at you.
Yeah.
Because he know you run across there, just giving it as an analogy. He know you run across so on the other side of the river, knowing you have to come back to him. One way or the other. Because before you read that one, I'm going to read the curses, right? Deuteronomy 28:48. Let's say, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Right? So that is part of the curse that the Lord put upon us. Now, the Pharaoh in this time in here, we know is Esau Edom.
Correct.
Right? the want of all things. Right? We go to our enemy 4. And who's our number one enemy? Esau Edom.
Correct.
Right? So for Jake to be running around saying that but Pharaoh can't give me, Pharaoh already have all him. Right? He already have all him. So you could go and read the piece
you must have that one?
Yeah.
God, this is Isaiah chapter 30 verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel but not of me,
Right.
and that cover with the covering but not of my spirit.
Right. So if they're not covered of the Lord's spirit, whose spirit you think they're covered of? Now the heathens and them. Start to make the Esau Edom.
God, it says, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin.
Right.
You know, it says that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Right. So you see, the Lord said they go down to Egypt. Right? The Lord said in Romans 3 and 3, the Lord said let him be true and every man a liar. Right? So he writes it in his book, you know, that this is what Jake be doing. And it's true. And we can see it for ourselves. We as the prophet can see. Right? Because when the scriptures say they never ask at the Lord's mouth, meaning the prophets, they never come to the prophets to ask, hey, why these things happen and why all this drama going on, AI taking over and all this nonsense. With all this, you know, just how I don't have no job because these AIs and them, they can do everything.
Yeah.
Right? They ain't coming to ask the prophets that they going about with life as, you know, them can make $1. However, it is the scene that had a job still. They not focusing on what the future brings. They living for today.
If anybody could bring out Jeremiah 30 and 7,
Yeah.
you know, about you know, something I was saying, boy, kind of you know, these 2/3 out here, you know, they're blessed with that spirit Esau, you know, as the scripture say, yeah, like a father the devil, you know, they don't say a father you will do, you know, and this is how all of them is, you know, and even that same scripture, see the time that we're in right now, and the AI coming to take over your jobs and all these different things, you know, those systems and all this also blessed with Esau's spirit, you know, because, you know, that same devil that ruling today is the same one who created that same system. Yeah. Alright? Through the spirit and power here of Hashem Yahushua, everything is run by him. You know?
That's why before you read the today and said back and finish off the Isaiah, so you go tie in with the Jeremiah. Because the first part tell you that they're going down to Egypt and whatnot. Then after the Lord will tell you what is going to happen for trusting in Egypt.
Isaiah chapter 30 and reading on at 3. Right. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Right. So you see, wait see, the strength of Pharaoh is your shame, right? That will become your shame. And the trust in the shadow of Egypt. So you see, not talking about the literal Egypt, but the shadow of Egypt. Because we know according to Revelation 11, it calls Babylon spiritual Egypt. Spiritual Solomon Egypt. Right? So that's why the Lord say the trust in the shadow of Egypt. So you going into the system full force, head first, right? And believing on Pharaoh. You could say how much you want that Pharaoh don't have weight, but he have all it. You understand? They have all it mentally and physically, right? Spiritually. They don't have us mentally and spiritually, but they have us physically, right? Because we can't do anything for ourselves. We need the Lord, right? So let me read Jeremiah 30 and 7. It says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Right, and the reason I asked that scripture there too is because, you know, it's that time that no one ever seen before. You know, back then, it didn't have those AI running around and the machines and things taking place. You know, right now it's going to have all kind of different things, you know, robots running around. You know, it have super soldiers, it have all these different type of things, you know, and this is what he saw. You know, when Ezra say, you know, woe is me, you know, who gonna deliver me out at that time. You know, this is a vision that he saw, that he was, you know, it had him spoke. You know, he could have seen he wasn't seeing no way out of it. You know, and Jake don't know what it is coming. But we as the prophets of the Lord, you know, as the scripture say, the Lord revealed a secret unto his servants, the prophets. Alright? Go ahead and say.
Well, what they say was, you know, they trust in Egypt, right? They trust in the system. So, in the times of famine to come, when you put your trust in Esau, right? And in the times of famine, Esau could tell you, if you take this mark, right? You could, in order to get some food or whatever the case is. But just so you know, remember the nature of Esau, right?
Never trust an enemy.
Yeah, can't. Like, never trust an enemy for as I unrusted. So it's this wickedness. So Esau could tell you something and he could do something else. You understand?
That's how the devil been from since way back when. The scripture tell you that, right? He broke every covenant, you know, every agreement that, you know, he was ever made to sign, you know, in allegiance with any other nation, you know, broke every single one. So for you now to come and trust them and the system that they're building here, you know, you see now creating AIs and all these different things, and it's like, you know, you don't know what's going on there. Scripture.
This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 10. The righteous man regarded the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Right? So, the scripture says the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So, don't expect to get anything good out of Esau. Esau is
he's not good to himself, he wouldn't be good to you.
That is it.
So, but that scripture is again,
That is 12 and 14.
yeah.
that is not good to himself, he can be good unto. Because Esau isn't even good to his own people. They are going to destroy the own people as well. They're gonna chastise the own people and oppress the own people. Right? So how much more towards a people who he despises, which is the nation of Israel.
Which we have a perpetual hatred against. You know? So, yeah, but when you go to Isaiah 31:1, you read from there.
Yeah. Okay.
But the same thing with Egypt again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses, that they trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong.
Yeah, can. Because, you know, they seeing all these different things. And as, you know, the topic we're going on 2 years, basically AI, you know, these people and them will start to trust in these kind of things, you know. All this what Esau is doing right now is basically radicalism, you know, getting you comfortable with this system that you're using and whatnot. You're giving it to you free on your phone, on your smartphone, you know, having you to play around with it, to test it and whatnot. But while you're going through on your phone, testing the AI and seeing how the program does operate and whatnot, it might help you somehow, Look, 144.7. It might help you somehow, but really and truly, Esau in the background taking notes. He's learning about you. You know, right now Esau know you better than you know yourself. You know what it is you like to eat, what you like to drink, what you like to watch at, you know, what's your vice and all these different things. You know? So it's a really, basically, as the scripture say, my people are led to the slaughter. You know? That's roughly paraphrasing it.
I said, and the ultimate control he want is when he make the mark of the beast mandatory. Because once he make that mandatory and he take that mark within your right hand on your forehead, he could have that full control of you. Alright? I understand, with a computer he could know all your thoughts, all what you like, all what you dislike, and he could even control you. You understand? Like I just bring on from time to time when I'm talking about the mark of the beast. It had this episode in Street Fighter where basically they show you when Bison had captured Ken and Ryu, they had a man as a dummy who had a chip, a microchip inserted in the forehead, and I was controlling this man with the device that was sending signals in the computer to control this man's emotions. So that was making this man mad, sad, you know, giving him different emotions.
And that's but that you say something like that too, because you know it actually have that. You know, it actually have this fellow with a Spanish name. I can't remember his name, but he actually created what I think I showed some of the other brothers it already. The video with the bull, where it is the bull had to charge the matador, you know, and the fellow could have just flick a switch to change the bull mind, you know, from charging, you know, to calm. You know, he tried it in a cat. You know, he put two cats in a cage, and he put one chip in one of the cats, and he turned up the dial. And what went on, the cat turned angry and attacked the next cat, and then he turned it back down and it calmed down. You know, so this technology is out for decades now.
Yeah, God, you know? They're basically working on it. What they're doing is they're upgrading it, right? And once they fully finish it, then they go establish it out to the people. Because he so wants to see if he could get every little detail. Because they done already have devices what they could control your emotions, what could control your thinking. They have things I think they have a device where they can make blind people see. and things of that nature. So them thing out why now is so just updating it.
Okay, why now? Yeah, it's out. It's just remember he had a what for before, you know, he had a use the gradualism, you know, because as one of their elites and them also they came out by the name of what's his name, Rabbi Finkelstein. You know, he came out and he said that they don't like to come in charging like a bulldozer. You know, they like to use gradualism. You know, they don't like to startle the people. You know, and this is what they do. They already have this technology. He still have technology where he could come out right now and just destroy places and whatnot. But he's not coming out to just knock you down. He had to bring it in, rope you in slowly but surely. You know?
Damn, I say that to the one.
So Isaiah chapter 31. You must start back at 1.
Yeah.
It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses that may trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong.
Right, so you know the horsemen and the chariots, the police and the vehicles and whatnot, right? Something that came to me through the spirit too, when we were talking about it, is that as we're talking about AI, we know he's still going to bring out cyborgs and robots and things to deal with the law, you know, and the heel and all that kind of thing. And you know, Jay go trust in that too. And that would be a downfall, because there are some people who, you know, real law-abiding citizens who will be like, yeah, because it wasn't supposed to bring that light, or you should have never do this, you should have done that, you would have a right to do that thing. You know, they will still side up with Esau till death, you know, and there will come a time when it is that same robot that they're siding with will start a so-called glitch, you know, and start to fuck up you, your family and friends and whoever it is, and then you go realize it's not a help to hand, you know, which will also, you know, lead into Jacob's trouble, right? Because all them things when I'm being rude about and all this kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know, in order for the law to live up the standard according to the scriptures, right? So Jake not seeing this on that level or that magnitude. They just seeing it as things are breathing little by little.
Yeah.
Just like the song, how they want you to see it. They want you to see it happen little by little, and that is it. You know? So it's just a matter of time before, you know, they start to bring out more and more AI where you're seeing them grow and it become a norm. Right now they're showing it all over TV, certain countries have it to a certain extent, you know, and then all over you will see it. And then eventually they enter into your job, right? Take over your job, your job. You know, and you have to become more reliant on the system, because they take you out of a job. So now they might say some shit like, you know, they will feed you and your family and whatnot thing, you know, take your Jake even more complacent. So you don't have to work, so you start to get more lazy and everything, and you become more reliant on the system, because the system had to feed you, and that you're telling yourself, the system had to feed you because you need food, you need thing, you know, and then they can just take it all away, because them is the one that give it to you, you know, so they just take it back away.
And
force you.
Set up there, as you're saying that with the system will be feeding you and whatnot. It had this movie, long time I watched. Plenty of you know the movie, Wall-E.
Wall-E?
Yeah. Wall-E is a movie where it is the earth was destroyed and whatnot, and Esau and them was basically living up in space.
Yeah.
You know, and these people was basically dependent on the system, and everybody was big and fat and out of shape.
They can't walk.
They can't walk here, and they're on chair.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're born and grow on a chair, and the chair carry you everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
That movie really come back to me, you know.
Yeah.
Like seriously, and then that man walked for the first time.
Yeah.
He said no to use his foot.
And I just showing you how Jake out there, there's more focus on the, as the scripture say, in Isaiah 31 and 1 that the brother just read, reading down, they trust in these different systems and whatnot, they trust in Esau chariots, and whatnot.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right, so we ain't ignorant. All the things what Esau is doing, the Lord gave his prophets a say on what's going on and what this man is planning to do. We know Esau plan and we know what he's trying to accomplish, but it's gonna fail, it's gonna fall. Right? By prophecy. You understand? The scripture say when he's about to fill his belly, then the Lord is gonna rain judgment upon him. Right? Number one, if I could get that. He's in type it up and see. He's in Job. This is Job chapter 20 verse 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eaten. Right? So while this man is about to establish his new world order, when he feels that he's winning, that he's about to establish his new world order, the Lord is going to bring that judgment upon him. When he feel he could come and touch the elect, and feel he could put, understand the Lord's saints, alright, as this perpetual state, you understand, the Lord is gonna come through and deliver his elect. That's why the scripture say, if those days won't be short, nature and no flesh be saved. Because Esau will try to Esau ultimately will destroy everything. Because they already destroyed the earth. That's why the angel in Revelation says, shouldest thou destroy them that destroy the earth. Because Esau, you understand, Esau is like a child, he ain't fit to rule.
As you see that they, Musk came out and he talk about they want to go to Mars, I believe. They want to go to Mars to go and start a set up base there and whatnot. So that's showing you all these things that we see in movies and whatnot, all these shows. It's things that he saw plans, He just basically just showing you it as a documentary.
They don't come to it already, they want to go and go Mars. They show them the big and everything.
I hear one of them wanted to...
He appointed the bones so they can't pass.
Yeah.
And he himself didn't even know the depths of the earth. But now he's able to go Mars.
Yeah. That's it. The next thing they was trying to do, I don't know, I can't remember which one. One of them was trying to blow up the sun.
Yeah, because the
moral
scripture where the Lord say, if they could something with the elements, if they could control stars and heaven.
If they could measure I think if they could measure the
ocean and all that, they could measure the sea or measure the sea, measure the sky or something like that. So you go forget Israel, but that the Lord mocking them because they can't do that.
Yeah, basically he given an impossible task.
Yeah.
You understand? So with all the technology he have, there's no way he could beat that. You understand? But the task what the Lord
smaller this one
the task what the Lord gave Esau. The Most High know that. The Most High know it. You understand? Because he's the Most High, he know all things. But Esau now, he's the basis of men.
He's just someone trying to obtain the message through carnality.
The chariots and the horses is just flesh, it's not. It's just spirits. No, not spirits. It's
Flesh.
Yeah, they are flesh. Spare with us back.
This is
What you got? You open, you want to pass and you ain't passing. Try it, huh?
You will not see the corner. Go ahead.
this is we're making the IC at 30, 31, and now I'm gonna read on, I'm gonna read on at 2. That's the point where you want
Alright, can't go ahead.
Isaiah 31 and 2. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. It says, now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and they have horses flesh and not spirit.
Right.
When the Most High shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is helped shall fall down, and they all shall fail together.
Right. So these all this technology and all these things that Esau coming out with, you know, all these militaries and all these things is just flesh. It's carnal stuff, you know. Esau in what thoughts is that his kingdom is going to last forever and whatnot, you know. But
Like a console.
yeah, you know, that's how Esau is.
I said, I have, this is Psalms chapter 33 and 10. The Most High bringeth a counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. Right? So, what their counsel is, remember, like the scripture you quoted, their inward thought is that they will rule forever. You understand? That thought, the Lord will bring that to naught. Alright? That thought is vain. You understand? The scripture say, why do the heathen reach and the people imagine a vain thing? That is a vain thing that Esau paid, he trusted. You understand? Because why? Prophecy have to be fulfilled. It's not prophesied that Esau going to rule forever. It's not prophesied that his new world order is going to be established upon the earth, and he's going to have those people as his perpetual slaves, and he's going to rule forever. That is not prophecy. You know, Esau's trying to somehow feel he could escape the prophecies from coming to pass.
Yeah, can't.
You read prophecy here in 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Right? Ezra asked the angel, and the angel said, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow it? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, and when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Right? So we know this is this here is a prophecy, and this happened all the way in the book of Genesis. Right? So I just always say that this is a cut for people who, you know, feel as though, you know, the book of Revelation and, you know, basically New Testament alone is the one that have prophecy, you know, but there's prophecy all over the Bible, you know, so you can't separate it, you know. The Bible goes hand in hand with each other, the new and the old goes hand in hand with each other.
So the scripture say he a little and they a little, right? Because it's like a puzzle you have to put together. It have prophecies in the Old Testament that ain't even haven't been fulfilled yet. Right? So you have people who only believe in the Old Testament and who only believe in the New Testament. You have to believe in the old book. Did not the angel tell Ezekiel to eat the old roll? Eat the old roll means everything, not just a part of it. That is our next reason to show that who the Lord really dealing with and who the Lord not dealing with.
Read Sirach 30 and 1. I will tell you that.
They say,
Read
Lord
and
come,
Lord.
the Lord come in the whole volume of the book. You know?
Psalms and Hebrews.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30, and verse 1.
Let's 39.
39.
39.
Ecclesiasticus was in Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients.
Right, so it's a he that is occupied, right? So, the he meaning the man of the Lord, right? Well,
It says, will seek out wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecies.
right, the scripture say, seek out all the ways of the ancient, because why? When the scripture speak about that, why? Seek for the old parts,
Yeah,
rough parts.
Seek the old parts as
Yeah, seek the
that's
old parts.
Jeremiah 6 and 16.
Next one is to reduce the righteous acts.
Right? Because we know the modern time now more wicked than before, right? All the things written of old, the scripture said in Romans 15:4, everything written of 4 times written for our learning, right? In this day and age now, you know, we're going further and further away from the truth. You know, back then, when we used to actually uphold the laws of the Lord, right? That was the righteous thing, right? Let me go ahead.
You want me to read on some more?
Yeah.
It says, he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
Right.
He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables.
Right? So you will seek out the grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. Right? And where those things are, that is all over the Bible. Right? Because look at the book of Genesis and Revelation. That is like the two most metaphorical books. Right? Because just a simple story with Adam and Eve. Jake didn't understand that. You know, they will say sex and all these different things. Some believers are literal apple, literal snake, and all this nonsense. That's what Jake think.
I said,
You know?
because I remember.
So it just goes to show you
so
that it had dark parables, dark sayings, you know, all over the industry, and some tell you that the Lord is revealing unto his servants. Right? So, excuse me, so if you don't understand it, then hey, you're not a servant of the Lord. Right? So let me just finish up the second address 6 and 9. Where's the point? Let's say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Right? So going back to what we were speaking about earlier, you know, the Lord not going to let Esau continue with his wickedness, because this whole place will just turn upside down and ultimately be destroyed. You know, so the prophecy was set in motion since the beginning of the twins, right? That Esau is to rule for a particular time, right? And when the Lord is ready to return, he will be the last person ruling when he will going to take them down, and then we're going to take over. You know, but I don't follow anything there.
We're going to give all praises, all glory, and honor to the Heavenly Father, and the Son, and the Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makavandash, the Father, and the City, and the Apostles, and the Stone, Shalom, to the Leka